Hi, I'm Elizabeth Teeter. You may know me from Heathers or Beetlejuice or some niche plays if you're into that. And this is Drama Club with Matty.
Hold on, wait, Elizabeth Teeter, tell me your pre-show ritual at Heathers, which you just ended your off-Broadway run as Heather McNamara.
Oh, well, pre-show ritual was very serious, had to get into character. It was a lot of just, joking around with my friends.
Okay.
I was just telling him off camera that we would always laugh because the three of us would be behind those closed doors before a really iconic entrance. And it's like, we're gossiping about our day. We're burping half the time. We're like trying to like get our tights in the right spot. Like, and then we're like,
that Lorna Courtney, she's just, burping all the time, lots of gas. I don't know. It's so nice to have you here. You're a doll. You're a doll.
Oh,
you're a doll.
Thank you.
Everybody who I know who knows you just says the most amazing things about you. Aww. There's something to be said.
And they're all fake.
They're all fake. It's Heather's after all. No, there's something to be said about the fact that you are our first, take this as a compliment,
look right
Gen Z guest.
Oh my gosh.
Everybody before you was
do you need
old.
me to do a TikTok dance?
Yeah, it is amazing. Now, come on, Gen Z, TikTok.
TikTok.
How do you feel? Are you proud to be a Gen Zer?
Yeah, I think so. I mean, that's a good question. I think sometimes Gen Z gets a lot of hate.
Okay, unfair.
But also, I can see why, but then I do think there are a lot of really smart young people that are like trying to help the world and make it better.
As an aging millennial, I co-sign that. I think that there are a lot of really good ideas. Mm-hmm. I actually think that millennials have gotten just entirely too caught up in the minutia of things. Like you and I were emailing and we had a few DMs and I was like writing you full paragraphs and you were responding to me with like just a very brief.
I'd be like, that sounds great.
It sounds great.
XX.
And you know what? Like point taken.
I promise I don't always email that way. I promise. Yeah, but I also do feel like in my spirit I am a grandma. I genuinely do think I have like an oldness about myself.
Nona Maxing is a thing.
I've never heard this.
Oh, Nona Maxing is it's all the rage.
Oh, okay.
Oh, so forget looks maxing. We're Nona Maxing. Nona Maxing is going to bed by 8.
Yeah.
Nona Maxing is just walking around in the garden or in the neighborhood and just putting the phone down.
I agree.
Making
and I like
sauce.
it. Honestly, finishing the show and getting back to adjusting to real life again, I'm like, oh, when I'm not in a show, I am a grandma. And that like I like to be in my pajamas at this time. I like to wind down.
It's really healthy.
Yeah.
You'll keep your skin just like that.
But also like good to have fun.
It is good to have. How do you have fun?
Hanging out with my friends, going dancing.
Okay.
Yeah.
Where was the last place you danced?
See, that's a good. It's been too long.
Okay, we need to fill up.
I mean, I went
out
with my cast for like after my final show, which is just all the like spots in Hell's Kitchen that everyone goes to.
You're basically a gay man.
Like,
yeah,
pretty much a gay man in that sense of like, why don't you meet straight people? It's like, I work in theater and we go. We're in Hell's Kitchen. We're in the industry. We're at Saddles.
What are you currently super obsessed with right now?
Oh, just in life and anything?
Yeah.
Well, I just finished Widow's Bay. Have you? I feel like those people.
High five, girlfriend.
I'm one of those people that is now like, there's a silence and I'm like, have you watched Widow's Bay? And two of my friends mentioned it to me, got me into it. They were like, I think you would really like this. It's spooky and it's funny and it's hard to explain. And I genuinely think the comedy is top tier. Everyone is the timing is so good.
It's so good.
But it's also still spooky, which I love. Like there were moments where I was actually scared and then it's funny again.
And then it's
like I need to watch it again because I can't stop thinking about it.
It's crafted so well. And I think it just got, I might be crazy, but I think it just got 18 Emmy nominations.
Like I think it's in the front runner of all the new shows.
Huge. And I had to go back and double check. I was like, is this a Stephen King project? It's not. But it's so deeply inspired.
Yeah, I think their creator was on Parks and Rec, which makes so much sense. Which makes so much sense.
My favorite. Do you have a favorite episode? My favorite episode was the
Patricia's
witch.
Cocktails.
Oh my god!
I'm forgetting that actress's name now, but she's just
so good.
all the characters are so good. That's honestly like my dream comedy. That's my dream. Like that's my favorite type of comedy.
We're putting
is
the call in now.
The dryness of it is so.
A new bombshell has entered the cast of
anyone
Widow's
needs
Bay.
a Gen Z on Widow's Bay.
Listen, they work so hard to get the tourists there.
Yeah, if you need another tourist, call me up.
I want to dive into your music career.
Oh my music career.
Again, like I emailed you in my Uber.
I was doing laundry
as if
and
I had
was
my laptop in my Uber. I said, I was asking you your matcha order. I said, Elizabeth, you're an angel.
Oh.
You released an EP in 2025. That's your most recent, or rather your single. Your recent single was
last
Do
year.
You Like Me?
Mm-hmm.
And then EP 2023 is out there.
Yeah.
Okay. Is this where are we going into? Are we going to put more time?
I want to. Yeah, I want to keep writing. I think music for me is something that I've always loved and loved to. I feel like I've always been writing, but I started to really write over the pandemic. Like I'm sure a lot of people did because we're just sitting around.
Yeah.
And I think a lot of artists can relate to not doing something because they want it to be perfect. And so it's like not starting because you want to wait till you have the greatest idea. And I just started messing around on Logic and coming up with ideas and kind of fully finishing that in 2023 and just decided to put it out with no pressure. So it is something that I want to continue on. And I think keeping that pressure off of it has been so nice because, I just kind of want to do my own thing with it.
It's a really smart approach, and we give a lot of life advice on this podcast. It's funny how it comes out because a lot of your Broadway colleagues are very sage and have a lot of wisdom of all ages. And it's true. The minute it kind of becomes a job, it just establishes a boundary which artistically can really curtail.
It's so hard when
creativity.
It's like your passion is your job. It's the best thing, but it's also like I think also with the thing with music that I love is in what we do in theater or in acting, at the end of the day, you're still subject to someone else's creative ideas.
Right.
You can have your own say, but you abide by the director and by the story and all of this stuff. And so to start writing and just sort of go, wait, I want this to sound like this here, and I want this to be like this, and having full creative control is really fun.
Who are your musical inspirations? Are you a Swiftie?
I wouldn't call myself a Swiftie.
Because I hear a little, again, not to sound bleh, but like I hear a little bit of Taylor there.
Yeah, I mean,
heard
very
a little
like
bit of Maggie
kind
Rogers.
of. Yeah, yes, like very Maggie Rogers. Like Tori Amos kind of vibes.
Great, we love that callback.
Yeah, Lizzie McAlpine thing. There are others that are definitely like leaving my brain. I listen to a lot of Cody Fry too because I
don't know Cody Fry.
Okay, well,
come on,
niche audience out there.
Yeah, lay it on us.
I love a bunch of instruments. I love a bunch of orchestrations, which I did most of the orchestrations for my EP. Like obviously, I had help with producers, but I was really proud because I came pretty much all of the musical instrumentation was something I did.
Beautiful.
Which I'm obsessed with classical music. I love, and he just does amazing orchestrations, and so that's like I love that.
I love it.
So check it out if you're into that.
Can you hold this up to the camera for me? Because that's just adorable.
I'm forgetting. I feel bad. I'm forgetting the artist who made this. I'll tag them on Instagram, I guess. But I got so much amazing fan art. There's, as you can see, got stickers. I have another one on a different water bottle, which I wish I had. That has it's me as Lydia and Heather Mac, like goth and then yellow,
Perfect.
like both holding hands doing ballet.
Perfect.
Because I love ballet. And I'm like, wait, this is so cute.
Where does Elizabeth sort of land on the spectrum of Olivia Deetz to
Olivia Deetz?
Is it Olivia? No, Lydia Deetz. To I have so many.
I thought you were gonna say Olivia Dean. I was like, I love Olivia Dean.
I have so many Olivias in my life, from Lydia Deetz all the way to Heather McNamara. Like, where do you land.
Honestly,
because right now you're
somewhere in
wearing
the
black
beginning,
and you're sitting on a yellow chair.
Somewhere in the middle. I think it's been so fun to get to do both of those parts because I call it like my sun and moon, where it's like, I do think I live on the spectrum of like the dry sarcasm of Lydia, and then Heather Mac is just like bubbles, and
still evil.
Spoiler alert, like the second act, she's like sad. But yeah, that part was definitely like up here and like really fun and silly. And I think I definitely exist somewhere between the two, I would imagine.
That's all of us, right?
Which is very fun to go from like dark and brooding to like, let me give you a makeover.
Pretty great.
Take a shot.
It's so fun. You get to be Glinda and
which is
Elphaba
like it's like literally like both. Which is funny you ask about like the ritual of it. Like for Heather's, it was like it really is kind of even on like your most tired day, you're like, I can't believe I'm gonna have to go be like, oh my God. Mm-hmm. But because it was the energy of that show was just at a 200, it almost made it easier in a way because it's like there's no in between. It's like fake it till you make it.
Sure.
You just gotta like crank the dial, and then by the end of the show, you're like, okay, I guess I have energy now somehow.
I think it's such a brilliant piece. I fell in love with. I love that I'm calling Heather's musical a piece. It is a piece.
A piece. It is a piece. I think it's a great. Hey, I think it's a great musical.
It's a great musical. Did you know much about the film before? I mean, we're talking about.
Yeah, I knew the film more than the musical.
Okay, great.
Yeah, which was like Winona Ryder, like. Which also both of those shows with Winona Ryder
right.
and the Crucible. So lots of Winona Ryder things.
Have you met Winona Ryder?
No.
Okay.
I wish I did.
You will at some point, and inevitably you'll try to explain to her.
I've really been a lot of like adaptations of yours.
Yeah, all roads lead to right.
So, yeah.
Do you ever look at the source performance?
So I knew the movie. So I knew the movie of Heather's, and Heather's was definitely one of those auditions that like came out of nowhere that I knew it was coming back, and I know it's a cult classic and so many people know all the songs, and I was very much like I knew kind of the plot through the movie and I knew a few of the hit songs. Sure. I knew Candy Store. I'd probably heard someone sing Lifeboat. I knew 17. But I tried not to like, I know a lot of people grew up on the bootlegs of version. I honestly had not
Producer
seen them.
Nathaniel
I honestly had not seen them.
Of slime tutorials,
which I think like kind of helped in a way, like because I went in and was just, like I guess I'm just gonna have fun with this and play around and do it my own way. So I think not knowing the ins and outs maybe helped me.
Sure.
I don't know. Or they just were like, she's funny.
That too.
One of my favorite stories was when we were in our final callbacks, they had us read with each other. Like they paired up the Heathers, and I was paired first. We were the first group. It was me, Mackenzie, and Olivia, who ended up being cast. There you go. And they were handing out papers right before that was like the first scene of the show that we're in, the bathroom scene. And I think I have one line in that. So they're like, I didn't have the pages before. So they were handing out to the Mac and they were like, you just have a line at the end. Like if you can learn this, like, cause we're going to call it. And I'm like, I've not even had a chance to read the scene. Once again, don't know the show very well. So I'm like trying to read the scene. And then they're like, can we have you, Mackenzie and Olivia? And I'm like, oh my God, let me just memorize this one line. Let me just memorize this one line. I'm carrying the pages in the room with me. And I say out loud, I was like, she wouldn't know what's going on. She wouldn't know what's going on. And I just genuinely like, just kept looking over and like trying to copy what Mackenzie was doing as like a joke. And I said my line right. I knew the cue line and I knew when my line was, and I had no idea what else was happening in the scene. And I don't know, I guess that was like part of the fun. I was like, she wouldn't know what's going on. She would just try to copy Heather.
We should all take that as a life lesson, honestly. You know what? You know, these days you can just walk into
trying to be like, what's happening? Which, by the way, it's Heather's. Like, it's one of the most iconic scenes in the bathroom. And I'm like, what's going on? Someone...
But you got the role. You got the role.
Now I can laugh about it now.
How fun is that? You started really young. You come from kind of your parents are very well known educators and performers. You're actually going to be performing with your father coming up.
Yeah, I'm going home to St. Louis, back to the Muny, which I did my first show ever there. So wow. I did my first show.
Is this your first time back?
In a while.
Okay.
I think the last thing I did was I did The Sound of Music in 2021. I played Liesel, which was really fun. But yeah, My dad.
And your dad's name is Lara Teeter. Lara Teeter.
Yes. And he's a professor at Webster University, and my mom's a dancer. And they were I say this a lot, I feel like they were very opposite of stage parents in the sense that I think because they had worked in the industry, they were very much like,
we'll let her do her thing.
Yeah, like we know this is a lot. Like I was begging my dad to take me to see shows, and I was begging them to let me audition, and they were kind of like, great, if you don't get in, like we'll put you in summer camp, and it's fine. And I ended up I got Mimi in St. Louis, which we're doing again this year. Yeah, and I just like caught the bug of loving performing, and so I grew up doing a few other shows there, just around the St. Louis area, and I'm really excited to go back. I'm doing Something Rotten, and my dad is playing my dad, which is amazing. So fun. We did a show there in like 2011. I think we did Little Mermaid together, which was really fun. But we haven't performed together in a long time, and my dad's he doesn't perform much anymore. He's director and teacher, and so it's gonna be so much fun. Just like. It's a hilarious show too, so we're just excited to goof around.
It's such a funny show. Yeah, what a funny thing, and Something Rotten. What a fun thing to be able to share with your parent.
It's so special.
In life, a lot of folks don't have an opportunity to sort of share something so closely.
Yeah.
I know, like with my parents, I mean, I teach fitness. It's so nice that my parents can literally take class with me all the time. It's sort of a
I would take my dad's
thing.
dance class, or I would assist him sometimes, or we've choreographed together before for some like events and stuff like that, and it's just so special because it's like rare to have that.
I'm sure he's imparted a lot of knowledge and great advice to you, but is there something that stands out, or maybe a moment that you've had with your father that you're like, Dad said this and it changed the way I looked at this or approached a situation?
I'm like, I can't cry on this podcast.
No, please, by all means.
I can't cry on this podcast.
We have the tissues.
I don't know. I think like he's one of my biggest inspirations for sure. Just like a giving person. And I think a lot with like, it makes me emotional, but a lot with stories I hear about teachers, and they impart so much, and there can be traumatic experiences with that people have had with someone that has said something, and then amazing experiences. And my dad is one of those people that I think, in watching him teach and watching him perform, he's just a giving person. Like he just wants to approach things from kindness and joy instead of like tearing people down and trying to, you know what I mean?
Well, the industry can be really tough.
Yeah. And so just like, he's one of the funniest people I know. Like I think just approaching everything with a sense of fun and joy. I mean, when I was a kid, it would like, he would act out like every single Disney movie with me. Really? Anything. I would come home like from seeing a show.
Robin Williams type of way.
Like he would like do all the voices. He would play Barbies with me. It was very much an example of like kind of the opposite of like traditional like masculinity in that way, of just like my siblings and I talk about all the time of like growing up with a dad that is like, not afraid of any of that. Like he would just play. Yeah, he would play every game with us.
Do you have a special memory that like stands out, or something like insane he did?
Oh my gosh. I mean, we have so many random stories that we'll look back and laugh of like, one was when I would play Barbies with my dad, and this is funny. When I played Barbies with my dad, whatever story we were doing, we had like it was like a recurring character, and in any plot line, like, and I would make up very elaborate plots. We had this doll named Blaine, and he was like a surfer Barbie.
Okay, great.
And so we would be like, for example, we'd be like acting out The Little Mermaid, and it's like a really intense scene where it's like Eric is like, where's Ariel, and then I can't believe I'm saying this, and then my dad out of nowhere would be like, Blaine would show up and be like, dude, Eric, like what's going on, man? Like, and he had a little sidekick that was called Bok Bok Dude. It was like this little chicken, and it was he's laughing because he knows my dad, and so it was like any game we were playing with Barbies, like Blaine would like make an appearance. It's like the random guest star that would show up. So that would really make me laugh. He's like, I'm just looking for Ariel. Like, I'm lost. I can't. And he'd be like, dude, you just need to chill out and go, like, catch some waves, man.
Your father's probably going to bring Blaine to your wedding.
I hope so. Like if Blaine is still like in peace, intact,
he's melted somewhere.
Maybe his like head's off and like in the trash. And we would act out like Peter Pan was a big one. Like I just remember he would be like Captain Hook and all this.
But
stuff.
what a gift! Like he was able to just like allow you and your creativity to shine. That's really. I hear he would ask his classes, "Are you Ducky or are you Peachy?"
I didn't know this, but that makes a lot of. I didn't know, or maybe I forgot.
I'm told every morning.
I just got the text.
Are you Ducky or Peachy?
I'm Peachy.
Yeah. How about today? Are you Ducky or Peachy? Ducky. I'm assuming
today. I'm kind of
Ducky's a little wet. A little. How does it work?
I'm a little peachy.
Lara Teeter Dance Theater used to say Ducky's a little quacker.
Ducky's a little quacker.
See,
okay.
Yeah, I'm peachy today. I think
I'm feeling. I think we're all feeling peachy.
Dad, if you're watching, I'm gonna
Lara,
have to ask you about this.
Way to go.
Later.
We thought you would know that. But
I'm also like, yeah, that makes sense.
All right, this is not. I mean, you're in your early 20s. You've done so much.
I guess
so much. You've played little Helen Mirren. You played the little queen.
The little queen. BBC.
Have you? Is there a role or experience that you felt was super formative for you that changed everything?
Ooh, I mean, the audience was one of them. I think, like with Helen Mirren, I think I was 13.
You were 13,
and for anyone that doesn't know, the audience is about Queen Elizabeth, and I played the young queen with Sadie Sink. We shared the role. And it was just like one of those experiences where I feel like the director and assistant director, it was like an acting coach. They rehearsed us, and it was like writing down every action, and they took us seriously though. It was like we were 13, but they took us seriously in what we did, and we had dialects training and how to speak like the queen and how to.
Can you do that for us, please?
I like remember some of it. It was like, it's very clipped, like it's very up here. Like if you go, her speech was like, I'm speaking to you today from Cape Town, and I'm 6,000 miles from the country where I was born, but that's certainly not 6,000 miles from home. It's like very like it's in there.
That's really good, girl. That's really good. I wish I could do that. It's locked in. You'll remember that forever. Right. Right.
Yeah. And I mean, watching these like incredible actors just
awesome.
through osmosis of like, I mean, Helen Mirren was like the perfect example of someone that was what you would hope they would be off stage too. Just like
so
a
you
leader.
can meet some of your heroes.
Yeah. Just like truly a leader. And she would come up and be like, work with us of how we could, match physicality and I'll never forget, I've told this story before, but like on opening night, Sadie and I were at the Tony Awards. Like we had gotten tickets like through the company, and we were like sitting in the way back, and the show hadn't started yet. And I get a call from our company manager that's like, Helen's looking for you guys right now on the carpet, like outside. So like little us like go up to the security. And of course it's hilarious. We're like, Helen Mirren is looking for us. And they're like,
were you alone?
I mean, like it was like me and my dad and like a parent, but still they were like, it's Radio City and there's chaos. And she comes off the carpet in her gown, like to the corner where all the fans are. And she's like, really, like they just need to come with me. Like they're with the show. Like I want this to be for them too. And she like took us along the whole like carpet, and she would do things like that all the time. That was just very much like, she would say, like, I want you to remember this. I want this to be an experience that means something. And it meant something then, but I think even now, like crazy over 10 years later, I'm like, I remember that. And that's like what you want to do.
She said, Elizabeth, I want you to talk about this on a podcast.
And you know what? I want you to talk about this on a yellow chair on a podcast one day.
I had them upholstered for you specifically for this.
You know what? I am.
Yeah, but
Helen Mirren, if you're watching. So I think that was, and I mean, I love singing, I love dancing, but acting has just always been like my favorite thing in the world. And I think doing something like that was so very formative for me.
Do you stay in touch with her?
Honestly, no, not in a while. Like we had emailed a few times after the show closed, and she was so lovely.
Sure.
and like
she works with a lot of people, and so will you.
Yeah,
and,
I mean, I'm sure if I were to reach out.
Oh, I'm positive.
Yeah,
I don't think it would take her long to remember who you were.
I hope, but you never
We
know.
ask this question a lot because we have a lot of veterans, and you know what? Guess what? Even in your early 20s, you're a veteran. I mean, what type of advice would you give to someone who is starting at? And actually, I'm going to move the needle a little bit. starting out at a very young age, like the same age that you started out. Do you have any nuggets that you would kind of impart in a very Lara Teeter way?
I think, come on, always go back to my dad.
I hope Dad will listen to this.
And my mom, honestly.
Yeah, and I hope Mama listens to it too.
I think my parents so I'm one of 4 siblings, and all of us had very like different interests. And I think
you're the only performer though.
Sort of. My sister's in like the music industry.
Okay.
So similar
sports,
but different.
Music,
yeah. So she's like killing it.
Wow.
Like she just got a huge job out of college and working with like record labels and doing all this stuff, which is a whole
bunch
different,
of underachievers. The Teeter family.
Man, it's and my youngest sister is like a rock climber and the genius and all of this stuff. But that said, it was very much like my parents were always like, if you wake up one day and as a kid, like you want to do this, okay, and I think for kids, sometimes it can be so intense to try to like, you don't always have to be doing a show. I think it is just as important to, do stuff in school. I ran track. I did da-da-da-da. Like, I think having all of those experiences and also like, I think that's just as valuable, which I know feels cliche to say,
it's good
but
advice.
But be a kid, kid, because that goes fast. And I definitely think there were moments where I'm like, wow, I did grow up fast in that sense of when I was 14, like doing the Crucible, I came here, I kind of had like a pre-college experience. Like I stayed with the host family. I was here like alone and did my laundry and did all the things. And like, I learned a lot and I wouldn't trade it, but I'm like, wow, that's kind of wild to look back on. So yeah, be a kid while you have the time.
It's great to have both of those experiences. And now this summer you'll go back to the Muny. Is there something specifically that you're really excited about with being on that stage again?
Oh,
is it the audience specifically?
I think it's just
is it being with Dad?
I think all of it. I think it's so nostalgic because it's like the first places I did theater. So
and will you go and like stay at your family house, or will you get an apartment?
I think I'm with my family for a bit, and then I think I'm staying where the company's staying.
Okay.
I don't know. I should know because that's in a few weeks. But yeah, I'm excited to go back like as an adult. I haven't really been back in a while, and I think to be on stage with my dad, and it's such a fun part and show. It's also just like professional summer camp. I'm sure everyone that has done the Muny can attest to that.
They
where
all
it's
say
crazy. It's like, honestly, it's wild that my first experiences were theater was like doing a run through on day 5 and you're putting up a show in 11 days. Like, I'm like, a month? That's a lot of time. Like we can get it done really fast. So it's a lot of fun.
You're an off-Broadway queen. You're a Broadway queen. You're a Muny queen. What are your feelings, again, having done this long run off-Broadway just now, what is off-Broadway getting really right now? And is it less pressure than being on Broadway? Like, I'm not a performer. I just love to be in your shoes.
I think it's this was kind of an equal amount of pressure.
Okay. It's basically a Broadway show.
Technically, if we had one more seat in the theater,
really?
It would be considered a Broadway
theater.
It's that
close?
It's literally like the amount of seats in a theater.
I didn't know that.
So yeah, I think it's like $4.99 at New World Stages, which is I think honestly a perfect size for others because it's like a specific type of comedy.
It's very intimate.
And I think it did feel like a lot of pressure in that it was just a lot of anticipation of the show coming back because it was very popular and it kind of had a similar fan base and excitement like Beetlejuice. So I felt like a little more equipped of like entering into that. But yeah, so I don't know. I think you definitely get more perks on Broadway.
Sure. In
terms of just like space and it really is funny because it's just what we do is not that glamorous. One time I did a news thing for Heather's and they were like, give us a backstage tour, and I was like, what backstage? I took us into our dressing room, which there were like 7 of us in like a cubicle, and the news lady was like, all of you are in here? And I go, yes ma'am. And it was so honestly so fun. We all got along and it was great. But I'm sure a lot of people don't realize that it's like we're crammed. We're in a basement,
Yeah, do you think there's a surprise? Do you think the audiences at large, there's something that maybe a misconception about Broadway that they have? Like, do you think most people just generally think it's a lot more glamorous than it is?
I don't know. I'm sure I feel like there was this Emma Stone video that went viral when she did Cabaret, where she was like, I thought this would be a lot easier because it's only, it's what, 2 hours, 3 hours a day, and then you're done. And she's like, from the second you wake up, it's like, what do I need to do with my day to be able to do the show at night? And that depends on the role, that depends on the show, but it's like, you got to stay in class, you got to go do a workout, you have to make sure your voice is there, you have to do all the other life things you need to do. And then it's like, it's a busy... I think it's hard for people to probably comprehend what 8 shows a week feels like until you're doing it, which is also, something that's hard to teach in school and things like that, because you don't know. It's very trial by fire. Like, you don't know how it's going to be. I remember when I started Beetlejuice, it was like, I think it was like our first week of performances, or maybe after our opening week and weekend, and there's like so much adrenaline and all of this stuff. And I remember I called Alex Brightman, Beetlejuice. If you don't know, Alex Brightman, if you're watching,
Alex.
Shout out Alex
We
Brightman.
went to school together. Shout out Alex.
Really?
Mm-hmm.
Oh my gosh.
Mm-hmm.
And I remember I called him and was like, I'm not freaking out, but freaking out a little bit of just when the adrenaline calms down in that first weekend and you're sort of like, okay, now how do I maintain this for 9 months,
Sure.
10 months, a year, like however long. And I had done 8 shows a week before, but nothing that like vocally or physically demanding. So it was just sort of like a new learning curve of like, okay, that was awesome. 8 shows a week with this for months and months. Okay, how's my body? And he was like, I did the same thing in School of Rock. I called my parents. I did the same thing, and you're gonna figure it out, and you're gonna figure it out, and you do.
Was there a moment where you realized, okay, I got this. I found the rhythm, and how long did that take?
I think so. I honestly think yes and no. I think that experience for me was so formative and special and amazing, and also like a very I am so honest in being like, and a stressful time in my life. I was 20 and like, learning how to be a person, and then it was such a
post-COVID right away, right?
So it was
away.
also like,
did you audition for? Did I read that you auditioned for Beetlejuice? Like,
and
you got the role
pre-COVID. I auditioned multiple times,
and it was days, and then everything shut down.
Yeah, I was
right?
like in my days of rehearsals, and I didn't tell anyone, and then we shut down, and it was like 2 years later. They were like, "Can you come back?" And I did all the material again.
Wow.
Yeah. So, and it worked out for the better because we all, instead of as a replacement, you're sort of just, rehearsing with a few understudies, and then you have a put in, and then it's, being thrown in. And I got the whole rehearsal experience. So I got a full 4 weeks. There were some new lines. Like there was, it kind of felt like remounting the show in a way. And I think the people coming back to it had a fresh perspective too because of the time off. But yeah, it was like amazing and just stressful because I think I put a lot of pressure on myself, and I think I was still learning. I feel like looking back now, which crazy, we opened 4 years ago now, closed 3 years ago.
Goes fast.
And I'm like looking back, I go, okay, like I would do that differently now. Like I would approach this differently now. I would sing this differently now. I would stress less about this and more. And I just think that's part of growing. I hope with every experience to leave proud of what I did, but also like cut yourself slack because you're learning. And I think with Heather's, I found a lot of the balance of like, hey, this can be fun. This doesn't have to be so intense all the time. And it was nice to finish a run at the end of exactly a year, which I'd never done a year before, and be like, I did exactly what I wanted to do. And that's a good feeling.
As an audience member, you probably know this. We always know if the actors are having fun or not. And that's the experience of live theater where the actors are having fun is so much more enjoyable versus when you can. Yeah. And if you see a lot of theater like I do, I try and see literally everything.
Yeah.
And it's clear as day when you could tell the cast is stressed, which I will almost always lob off on the leaders behind the stage. Right.
Yeah.
And that's why I love Off-Broadway so much. And that Heather's cast, and I'll even say when Titanic was off-Broadway.
Oh my gosh, I saw it off-Broadway too. It's so fun.
Nothing to be said about the fact that it's not that they're doing anything too differently on the Broadway stage right now.
Yeah.
But there is a little bit more of a relaxed
There is like a ground. Yeah, there
performance.
is sort of a groundedness of like, we didn't have, it is still, I think, trying to capture a bit of what that early 2014 version was of like, a small set. There's no crazy, like, what's it called?
No AI screens, no AI screens.
It's very sort of like a small, I love a small space for that reason, I think, because I think it's fun to catch like little things people are doing. And honestly, with Heather's, it was like, I had just so much fun with like the physical comedy of it, and just like, just going out there and being like, I'm here to have a blast. I'm here to have a good time.
I mean, let's talk seats. So 499 seats at New World Stages, and now in a few weeks,
11,000.
11,000.
11,000, which is crazy.
How do you change your performance? What do you do differently?
Good question. I don't know. I don't know how
but you
different
must
it
know
would be.
because you do it.
Yeah, I guess. But I guess I don't think about that. I think it's just dependent on the tone of the show. And I think no matter what like size and scale of theater, like just trying to stay as truthful as you can while, you know, maybe it's the difference of just like playing a physical gesture up a bit, or like, you know, if you're doing a play, if you're doing the Crucible, like that's not going to feel the same as Heather's.
For sure.
But
Different
yeah,
pieces.
I mean, but also, yeah, I don't know. I think like going back to the Muny this summer, I'll discover like what that feels like again, to like, you know, the difference between, okay, they can see my face, to the back, like at Heather's, you know, any seat you could really see someone's face, and the Muny after like 10 seats, you're like, I can't see.
Can't really see anything. I'm usually fanning myself from underneath.
I'll probably be like, I'll really like,
maybe your father will sneak Blaine on stage. You never know.
Oh, I hope so. I hope. Bring Blaine back.
I want to ask you this again as our first Gen Z in the hot seat. Gen Zer in the hot seat. Because we use so much social media, and you talked about viral moments in that piece about Emma Stone. Do you think that Broadway and off-Broadway shows need to have a viral or social media counterpart right now? That's a big conversation right now, right?
Yeah. Honestly, my friends and I talk about it a lot.
Okay, tell what do you think? Do you... Again,
because I think there's a balance. Like, I think there is a lot of like, I mean, Beetlejuice like came back because it, you know, you see like clips from like Death Becomes Her, the sound that trended, and even things from Heather's. I mean, like I posted our entrance video. I think it had like 5 million views or things. So it's like, I don't know. It's constantly, my friends talk about how it is a weird thing where like, in a way, social media is kind of a brand, your brand. And I think trying to like live between staying like truthful to who I am, truthful to who I am, truthful to who I am, and also knowing that a lot of people are reached by that. I mean, I kind of I gathered like a weirdly big following on TikTok just from posting backstage things or, you know, whatever. And I will have people sometimes, and now I'll use it to share a lot of my own music and my own sort of covers of things and writing and all that kind of stuff. And I've had people come up to me and be like, oh, I saw this video and it is really cool. And you know, then there are the bad things about it too. And so I think it really is
do people stop having boundaries?
Yeah, I think there's like definitely, trying to make sure it's like I don't want to share too much about myself because people do think they know you. I think that's the thing about fan bases. Sure. Love them. Thank you for supporting. But also with certain shows that I've done, there have been a very like parasocial aspect to it where people think they're like entitled to your time and they think that they know everything about you because they've seen you play a role 100 times. And you're like, well, that's not. Actually, I remember someone at the stage door, which so sweet that I was like taking a picture and this woman was like, you're so happy. And I was like, well, yes, I guess. But also it's just very funny when people feel really connected to something that they see and they only see that side of you or, you know, even online, you try to be the most authentic version of yourself, but that's online. That's never 100% true.
We all take whatever we're going through at the time and we find a way to put it into the performance or into fitness. I know that people are like, oh, you're such a happy guy. I was like, no, what you're seeing is honestly, I'm working out with you and that like overhead press that I'm doing, I'm literally, that's my therapy right there. Yeah. So yes, I'm actually happy to be there. And
it's a lot of energy to like turn it on. And even with the stage door, it was like amazing. And also like hard to do sometimes when you're just not in that headspace or, you know, you're like, I'm exhausted from having that dial turned. But
you still love it.
But I do. I mean, I think it is really cool. It is really cool to meet people who are, I mean, so excited to travel everywhere to see the show and have done all of that. Or, you know, I think people really do find connection in certain shows and characters, and it means a lot to them, which is really cool to hear. I would laugh though, because Beetlejuice, we didn't do the stage door because of COVID, which honestly was kind of nice because it was took a little bit of the pressure.
You didn't feel like it was missing anything?
I mean, I think it would be really cool, but also I think I would feel pressured to have. It's a lot to, you know, especially after those we did 5-show weekends for like most of the time. And it's like, that's more talking, that's more shouting, that's more, but it's funny because I would like come out and like, you know, I'm blonde in like a sundress and like completely like, you know, these like angsty teens like that are waiting, and I'm like, I look like completely opposite, just sort of like la la la. And I had people, I would wait in like the, there was like a passway, what's it called, where there was a bunch of artwork by the marquee.
Oh yeah,
Breezeway, yeah. And I had a couple times people come up to me and go like after the show, and I'm like, hi, and they're like, can you take a picture of me and my
hysterical,
literally asking me, and I'm like, yes,
that's
I
awesome.
can, yes I
that's
can,
appreciated.
which is like, it's awesome. Honestly so fun to be like, I'm kind of in disguise.
You're
right
totally,
now.
You're
but
totally
also I'm like,
incognito.
don't say anything bad about the show. So did you like it? Did you like the girl doing it?
Has that ever happened to you? Or hearing somebody like literally give the review before the show was...
No, I maybe heard like a comment or two. I don't know. I try to like book it out of the theater.
Okay.
And I'm like, I'm very much like, I have my headphones on. Like I'm going to the train. I'm like,
did you read online comments or Reddit?
No,
Stay away.
I don't go on Reddit. I don't go on Reddit. I really don't.
Okay. All right, good.
I don't think I've ever been on Reddit.
They say a lot of stuff there.
I think like comments are hard because, you know, everything's online now. And so it's hard when like, especially when you start a show and it's like your page is suddenly like flooded with, oh, there's me, like there's me. And it's hard not to look. But I think something I learned from Beetlejuice and tried to take into Heather's of like, there's always going to be an opinion of someone loving you. And there's going to be people where it's just not for them. And that's like what it is. I think people have gotten way too comfortable at being mean online.
Yes.
And I think it is one of those things where it has become a comparison game, and it has become I just think a lot of things that people say online, you know, they go, well, I'm entitled to my opinion. And I go, that's for your friends.
Yeah.
You know, why are we putting that out?
Why are we broadcasting
it to your
Substack?
Yeah. And I think, you know, it's just like people forget that these are real people. And also they don't, half the time the people commenting stuff don't realize what it actually is to do a show 8 times a week.
And that's why that's the tone of this podcast, is we really celebrate without being too critical. We want to ask, right, what are the 4 shows that changed you? Do you have 4? I know I should have probably asked you this in an email.
Gosh.
In our email. In our email.
No, it's okay. It's okay. Putting me on the spot.
Yeah,
that changed
that's fine.
me.
You're an actress. Come on.
I feel like that's a hard question because there are probably so many. Well, I don't know if this counts, but like maybe like sidebar. I remember watching Julie Andrews in like The Sound of Music, like the movie, and being like,
it could be. That's
no. Yeah. I wanted to.
You were in
I told my parents
with Julie Andrews.
with Julie Andrews. I did tell my parents when I was like 3 I wanted to be a nun, and then it was just like, no, you want to be Julie Andrews. So, like definitely remember that Peter Pan, that kind of, you know, like very early stages. But I do remember I saw Fun Home. I think I saw their like first preview of Fun Home.
Ring of Keys, come on.
Which was so beautiful. And I did see Color Purple, the revival.
These are good answers. This is very
really
balanced.
Good.
Give me another one. Something recent maybe
I mean, definitely I was like playing the CD of Wicked over and over as a kid. I would remember like seeing it at the Fox Theater when I was 9. And yeah, come on, shout out St. Louis. My parents surprised us with tickets because we listened to the soundtrack. And like, you know, it's just iconic. Like Defying Gravity happens and it was like, I just remember sitting there like, Yeah.
Are either
that's
of those
what I wanna
roles
do.
something you would ever want to play?
I definitely grew up thinking, like, when I was a kid, I was like more of an Elphaba, and now I'm like, I'm so Glinda. Like,
You're so Glinda. You're
I'm
actually
so
more evil.
Glinda. More evil. I just think in terms of like, I just think that would be that's a fun part. But yeah, I think both are. I mean, it's just such a good show.
Those are
It's such a
great.
good
Those are great.
show.
Yes. Sound of Music,
Wicked.
Fun Home,
Yeah,
Color
we're talking,
Purple,
like,
and Wicked
Wicked
are all. You have
vibes.
like it's commercial,
Yeah,
but also like
yeah.
very nostalgic.
I feel like that's not. I'm sure there are other answers I have that are more like theater.
Mine change all the time, and it doesn't matter. It's
But-
fine. We ask, and we still celebrate theater when we ask this question, but we ask all of our guests if you could ban anything
Mm-hmm.
from Broadway for the next 25 years. You had your magic wand.
Oh, yeah. Okay.
And you could change it. What would you ban? It could
This
be
probably
8
is
show
not.
week.
I
It
was
could
gonna
be
say. I
anything.
think like the 5-show weekend of it all needs to go. If people don't know, watching,
Yeah, explain.
A 5-show weekend is, basically with a normal schedule. If you have Monday off, it would be Tuesday, Wednesday, Thursday, but then you have Friday, 2 Saturday, 2 Sundays. So you're basically doing over half of your shows in like just over 48 hours, which I just think for the brain, for your body, even if you're doing everything in a really healthy way, like technique wise, it's just like an athlete. Like repetition is going to get you injured. Also just like the mental feat of doing the same thing every day. And it's like a little bit of Groundhog Day where you're like, you wake up on that Sunday and you're like, okay, here I go again. Like, and I think, yeah, I just don't think that I understand why people want to cram shows in on the weekend, but also I think for the longevity of performers' health, that just shouldn't be a thing. So
And we want to promise the audience the best spectacles
right,
possible.
right. It's like don't come on Sunday.
Again.
Don't come on a Sunday night.
Oh, I know.
You're like, okay. There's just like you get to Friday and you're like, there's a lot. You're like only actually not even halfway through your week, and you're like, oh, that's a lot. Yeah, I remember with Beetlejuice, we did 5-show weekends for almost our whole run, and like Sunday, I would be like, who am I so Karen? I'm like, what am I doing? Like it feels like 10 a.m. I'm like, why am I belting on a staircase? Like,
This is why
I was like, I just did this twice, which also just no one should be singing certain scores that many times in a row, I think.
This is why you're currently in the period of your life where you're Nonamaxing. Because you did all of that.
Nonamaxing.
You did all
I'm
of
like
that.
this. No.
Is that, do you have a self-care ritual aside from going to sleep early? Is there something that you love? Do you love your matcha?
I love my
Is there
matcha. That
anything
feels
else
so
that-
like, I love my matcha.
No, that's okay. You're on the Upper West Side.
I mean, you do fitness and stuff. I think like movement is so important to me. I love yoga. I love
Great.
dancing. I think just like getting that always gets me out of my head if I'm having a weird week.
Yeah.
Trying to get back into reading more and
Oh,
doing
great.
that kind of stuff.
She
and
can read, which
I
is
can.
good.
Hey,
Great.
I can
we
read.
make sure everybody that sits in
like
that chair
if you want to
say,
test
say, we
me,
can read.
go ahead. I can read. Yeah. So I think like that definitely is a big one.
Do you have a show that, and again, this is still, we still celebrate, but if there's like one show you're like, you know what, I never need to see that show again, or that is my least favorite show. Do you have like a least favorite show? Like we talk about it a lot. Come From Away.
Many answers.
I
have
did
many-
make a joke, which like maybe people will be mad. I don't know. I'm like,
none of our listeners get
I've
mad.
never
They're happy.
seen Jersey Boys, and I have no desire. There's like, there is really something about like, I don't really need to see like a guy group of musicians like do their thing. I'm actually bored by it. I'm sorry. And I'm sorry. Whoever that offends. Whoever that offends.
The dog
but
just
like,
clapped.
there are certain plot lines that I feel like, and you know what? Maybe it's I haven't seen it, so maybe this will surprise me. But I just think that like trope of like, there are certain shows where it's just like I don't need to see the like man and his like through his ex-lovers, and then he's like gonna go write a song, and he's like,
It's been done again and again. And I will tell you, as an Italian American, where the Italian American community, I mean,
Please.
Jersey Boys ended up becoming a punchline because it was
me
literally,
having never seen it, me knowing none of the songs,
it
me
was,
being like, and I don't need to.
Right. I think there are plenty more interesting, diverse people, women, female-driven stories that we need to be sharing. And
I mean, so many of those shows where you're like, I want to know I want to know the wife story. Like, I want to know what she's dealing with of like this guy. And I'm
that part.
You know, there's some great ones, but it's just like I think there are shows where I'm like, we've seen this.
We've seen this. Okay,
and let's tell other stories now.
So yep.
So any like male musician, watch me be like in a show that's
I know, totally.
And then I'm gonna have to come back on and be like, I reversed everything I said.
No, you answered that really graciously, and nobody would ever hold that against you. Even though
sorry, Jersey Boys.
Sorry, Jersey Boys.
I'm sure you're Jersey. I'm sure you're lovely.
We have a little co-host here.
Hi.
Wait, what do you nerd out about? Is there like if I were to ask you to like host your own TED Talk, but it didn't have to do with
stressful.
singing and dancing and performing.
That's a good
Do you like to
question.
cook?
I wish I liked to cook.
Okay.
Oh God.
Could you give us a social media tutorial? You're pretty good at social media.
Oh, I would say no.
Oh, okay.
I'm trying to think of like, because I was such a nerd in school. Like I was very like, I was to the books.
Okay.
Like I was a very
academic.
I thought about going to college for English. I thought about I like went to school. My like college journey is kind of untraditional in that like I went to I didn't apply for any BFA programs. I applied to like 3 schools in New York and went where I got a scholarship, and I went to Marymount for like a year online during the pandemic and did like all my gen ed classes. I was like undeclared.
Sorry, she's shitting on you.
No, it's okay. Then I paused to do Beetlejuice and to work. And then I finished my degree last year. I did it through Guildford School of Acting in University of Surrey. So it was like an online program that was a BA and a lot of essays and a lot of research. And but I love it. Like I love to write an essay. I love the research.
Would you ever want to like write a book or?
I think that would be cool. I would love to get back into writing. I mean, my part of my thesis was writing part of a show. So I'm like trying to get back into that world of things.
You do a lot. You're a multi-hyphenate, as they say.
Whoa.
That's pretty great.
Well, yeah.
All right, so where can folks find you right now? Obviously, we have some performances.
Well, if you go
up,
if you take the subway to this stop,
no,
get off the train and then go walk to my
we're talking
apartment.
Boundaries. We're talking about boundaries.
I say my entire
parasocial
address.
relationship.
Well, right now I'm in your apartment. No, I'm on Instagram. I'm on TikTok. Shout out.
It's all Elizabeth
Teeter official because that's officially me. And I hate when I tell people that because I immediately am like, Elizabeth Teeter official. But that is my handle. And there's some fun videos. I mean, I feel like when I finish a show like Heather's or Beetlejuice, people are like, oh, well, you're not posting any of the backstage stuff anymore. I'm like, well, I'm so sorry. I'm not there anymore. There have been people will sometimes make edits from the shows I have done, which I will be tagged in and sometimes see. And the way sometimes I'm like, this is made to look, it feels like I died.
Oh, it's like a tribute.
It's like in memoriam of Elizabeth as Heather Mack. And I'm like, I'm still alive.
So wait, what do you mean? They'll take something that's been bootlegged and they'll edit it?
I mean, kind of like it'll be like,
Remember, aging millennial.
You know what? It's an art form and I appreciate it. And I see you.
Do you know what fan cam is?
Not really, no.
Could you walk him through that real quick?
Yeah.
Do I know what that is?
What you're talking about?
It'll be like, I don't know, it'll be like clips from the show or clips from like backstage to like a sad song.
Do a sad song. Oh, and so there's that trend right now that people are
it could be a fun, happy one. Like it could be like, it could be something like that. But it was like a horror there was movie. One recently I was tagged in that was like after I left the show and it was like some sad song and all these clips and I was like, I'm alive.
Well,
I mean, I'm not Heather Mack anymore. So like that is a sad thing. It was I really do. The talent is there. But I'm laughing.
You said you were a nerd. Were you ever Heathered? Did you have bullies?
Oh, that's a good question. Not really.
Okay, I was gonna say names.
Mean, there were like, I definitely think there were. I can't get into that.
Okay, don't worry.
I can't get into that, but I do think in high school I considered myself like very much like a floater, and that like I had my best friends.
Yeah.
And then I could probably. we would talk about this a lot at Heather's and like interviews and stuff of like what clique or what would you be in like in the stereotype. And I'm like, I think I could probably sit down at any lunch table and like hang and be fine. But I'm like not close with any of them.
Okay.
You know what I mean?
Fair.
Like I could sit down with the quote unquote popular kids and be like, hey.
Well, you were well liked. You were well liked.
Sure.
Or
I
think at least not offensive.
I think my friend, one of my best friends, shout out Caleb if you're watching.
Hey, Caleb.
He would be like, you would go and leave and do something for like 7 months and then come back and like not talk about it at all. Like that's very kind of weird. I was like, so I'm mysterious. What you're saying,
darling,
just like a mysterious
I'm in the
Scorpio,
circus.
and like so like no, and like asked me out because I was mysterious. Like,
well, Elizabeth, you're a dream, and I hope you'll come back sometime.
I hope to be back.
This was
on the
really
pod.
lovely. Again, please follow Elizabeth on all the socials
If you want.
and make more fan edits.
Please, and make more fan edits.
I want to thank you all for joining us at Drama Club, and to all of our friends. Of course, you can find us on all of the streaming platforms. Check us out on Spotify, Apple Music. Follow our YouTube channel at Drama Club with Maddie. Follow me at Matty Magiacomo. Until next time, nerds, I'm Matty Magiacomo, and thank you for listening to Drama Club with Maddie.